In 2 days from now, India gets its new parliament. It's going to be inaugurated. And one of the most talked about showpieces inside this parliament, an ornament of great value and significance, is the Sengol. Most Indians had never even heard of the Sengol until yesterday, and now everyone is talking about it. The man who triggered the entire discussion about the Sengol, who wrote a very memorable piece in his magazine Tughlaq, which was shared with the Prime Minister and sparked off this entire mission to revive and relocate the Sengol to a more rightful place in India's Parliament. S. Gurumurthy, editor of Tughlaq magazine. It's a privilege to have you, sir, with us. Thank you for being with India today, and thank you for your time. I'd like to start off, Mr. Gurumurthy, by asking you, about the idea for the Sengol being relocated from its current location in Prayagraj to the Parliament. Where did that idea spring from, Mr. Gurumurthy?
Actually, this was done by one of the family members of the jeweler family which did it. This Umidi jewelers. When this news started appearing in Tamil Nadu from 2018 onwards, and the news also said that it is their family elders who had done it. One of the members of the family tried to find out where the Sengol is kept, and he found it in the Anand Bhavan Museum. So the credit goes to him, and of course the photographs and everything began appearing later in the newspapers. I don't think the government had much trouble in locating it. They already had a very legitimate informant.
Very, very interesting. An article that you had written in Tughlaq, sir, an article appearing in Tughlaq, was translated by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam, well-known dancer. She wrote it up in a letter and sent it to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And that was, that is what triggered this entire chain of events. Tell us how that happened, sir.
You see, when I read these news items, I sourced it in a private conversation which the Kanchi Paramacharya had with his disciples on the Independence Day in 1978. And he was telling them that such an event took place, this is how it happened, Rajaji's role, and how Pandit Nehru was asked by Mountbatten what is the ritual or the symbolism by which you will assume power, because we have certain symbolism. What is your symbolism? And all this is explained in detail by the Kanchi Paramacharya in that private conversation, which had come out much later in a book form. Of course, it had been properly noted by his disciple, and it was so meticulously explained. I got interested in that, and I thought that it must be made public. So by that time some news items had also appeared, and we had also found in the Thiruvadurai Adinam premises that the Sengol was handed, they had certain documents, they had photographs, and these photographs appeared with Jawaharlal Nehru holding all that. Then I found this is a very, very verified and a credible report. And so I wrote it in the Tughlaq, a very detailed article as to how it happened, referring to the Kanchi Paramacharya and the different media reports. Padma Subrahmanyam, who regularly reads the Tughlaq, she rang me up and said, Guru, you should not stop with just writing this article, and I will translate it into English, and I want to write a letter to the Prime Minister, and can you please send it to the Prime Minister on my behalf. In fact, actually it was sent from my mail ID, but the letter was written by her. And I sent it to the Prime Minister. Her request was that in the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav Ka period, this great event that took place must be made public. The people of India should be aware of it. And that this Sengol, which was symbolism, agreed to by both governments. It's some kind of a protocol. It was not a private ceremony. And so this must find a place in our, at the time Parliament of Aska was not in the picture. She said, her request to the Prime Minister was, this must be properly recalled and projected and presented to the people of India.